Well, images of pomp and ceremony as Donald Trump meets the Queen in the magnificent setting of Windsor Castle, the sorts of images that he will absolutely want people back in America to see. But happening simultaneously as he arrived at Windsor Castle with the First Lady, scenes of huge protest in central London too. The focus of the protest now at Trafalgar Square, which the Metropolitan Police said a little earlier was at capacity. They were managing the numbers of people because of the crowds there protesting against the US President's visit to the UK. These, of course, are the sorts of images that the President won't want to be beamed back to people in the United States. Let's get a sense of what's happening there right now with our correspondent Tom Burridge, who's in Trafalgar Square. Tom, I know it's really full there, and anyone who's been to London will know that is a large square.
Yeah, it's an impressive turnout, Anita, and actually we've come down the main streets of central London to get here, and they were completely packed out as the protesters moved down, so certainly tens of thousands, possibly above that. It's a pretty relaxed atmosphere, a lot of people having fun. Let's chat to three Londoners who've come in. I've spoken to people who've come in from North Wales and Brighton and places like that. Sarah Jane, Olamide and Andy. Sarah Jane, you're actually born in New York, you're British, dual citizenship, British and American. What do you make? What's brought you particularly here? What is it about Donald Trump that really has brought you to the protest?
Well, I don't even want it's not about Donald Trump. It's about the morals, the policies and the misogyny, the racism that he represents. I don't even want to give him the respect of it being about him. I've come to say that we don't believe in any of these things: racism, misogyny, separating children from their mothers, all of this kind of thing.
Well, I mean, is he really racist? I mean, he has people from diverse backgrounds in his team. Is it really fair to call him racist?
Does he? I'd beg to differ with that statement, but I think that it's quite apparent that this man is a white supremacist and he has surrounded his cabinet with white supremacists. Perhaps people might prefer the term white nationalists. It's quite apparent. And I think why I had to come here today to my first ever protest, and as a young person as well, was to come here in solidarity with so many people to stand against him and what he represents.
Well, as you can hear, I mean, it's a pretty riling atmosphere. That's Jeremy Corbyn being announced on stage, actually, so you can hear. Let's chat to Andy. Andy, is it fair to say that this is a left-wing rally? You know, it's Labour, Liberal supporters. This is Liberal Britain flexing its muscles, but it doesn't travel beyond that, does it?
Do you know what I've seen today is it's an incredibly diverse group, and there probably are a lot of left-wing groups here, but I wouldn't say exclusively. I think this is about people who have said hate no more. We've had enough of a politics of hate, we have had enough of a religion of hate, and the fact that the two are married together and Donald Trump needs to come to an end.
Do you accept, though, that he was voted in, he is the US president, therefore he has to come to Britain?
He may have been voted in, but he's not acting like a leader and he's not acting like a president. The country that I came from, which is South Africa, I always say to people, be very careful when a politician tells you who you need to hate, because there's an agenda in the background.
Olamide, Andy and Sarah Jane, thanks very much. Pretty impressive costumes and placards that people have been bringing here. So there's been a lot of organisation that's gone into today, that's clear. And as I said, quite a relaxed atmosphere. Jeremy Corbyn addressing the crowd right now.
Tom, thank you very much. Tom Burridge in Trafalgar Square. And